Yeah. So hello everyone. Let's take the next step. So far you have been working with this box, and as I already mentioned, this box has two connections. So one connection is the power supply, and this takes the power supply to the box. I'm sorry. And the another one is this one. See, right now this USB port, you are connecting it to a laptop or your desktop, right? Now, it is also possible because already the computing is going on inside the ESP board. So you need not connect it to the laptop or desktop because already the ESP board itself connects to Wi-Fi and is able to send the data. So you can do one thing. So I'll just quickly try to show that to you. So what you do is just give me a minute. I'll just take it out and show you. So in your kit, you must have received a mobile charger like this, the regular mobile charger. So if you open it, this mobile charger, let me just open it in front of you. So if you open it, it's your regular mobile charger. So on one side you have this connection, and the other side you have this. This is for connecting to the other things. So if you notice the ESP board, so the ESP board itself has a input supply here, right? Which used to be connected through this USB. So now you can simply disconnect the ESP board from the laptop supply or supply from your laptop and then connect this particular charger. Okay, so simply you connect it, and then so now if you simply give power supply to your ESP board, then you don't need to involve your laptop anymore. You don't need to involve, and this already has a Wi-Fi configured into it, and it will connect to your hotspot, and it will start sending data to the server. So that is the change that you need to make. But now, how do you give power to this? So in order to give power to this, again in your kit, we have included this plug thing. So this plug thing can be connected here. Sometimes it may not be exactly possible to keep it. So you may have to remove this and then individually keep these things, and then apply a complete tape on this so that this thing gets connected. And the other end of it, you anyway have the power supply available in this. So you directly connect the power supply directly through one of the phase and neutral wires power to this. So I hope you understood what I am trying to say, right? So once this is powered, then your ESP board is powered, and then your SD card is powered, and also your finally your PSM module is powered. So that everything will be powered, and you will be able to measure the appliance and then get the data. And then from outside, so again, since you have enough place in the box, so you can include the charger also inside, and then you can just completely close this, and then it will become a complete self-contained thing. Only thing that will connect to it will be this one. Okay, so let me now again ask you: is it clear what I just now told? If you are following all the other earlier,
Yes, sir.
and all. So just we have changed the way in which we are supplying power to the ESP module.
But sir, how without laptop means Arduino code will be read by that one means whatever
So
the parameters we need.
So the Arduino code doesn't exist in the laptop. When you are compiling and running it, the Arduino code actually enters into the ESP module, and then therefore the laptop is not needed. So the ESP module itself, in its memory, has the Arduino code that you developed, and it will keep working without the laptop. That's the whole point actually. Sushant, is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the whatever code you are writing, that will actually get stored into the memory of ESP module, and then it just needs the power supply. That's it, nothing more. Yeah, so I think with that point discussed, let me again show the this thing. So far, a lot of people have done it. So apparently, one Mr. Yogesh is not yet connected to circuit. Dinesh not yet connected to circuit, and few others. But majority of people have already connected. Okay. So Raja, are you there? Raja as well. Usually you attend, right? Yeah, so today is not here. So anyway, I think even the remaining people who did not connect. So what about Kiran and Maheshwar?
Sir, as for Hiren, I know he has if means hardware is connected and software also he is getting, he does not getting the reading actually. He is getting the reading as 0. So there is something wrong with the software. So he is trying for that.
Okay, so again, use the YouTube videos in the playlist. Whatever playlist that this video is there, in the same playlist, you can go and check the earlier videos. Each and every step by step, I have implemented there. So you can just repeat the process. And otherwise, if you are not able to get it, then you send a mail to all the other students who are marked in the email so that you will be able to get it. Okay, so let's now take a break. Change the thing and let's come back to discussing the next step. Okay, so, in fact, last class itself, I mentioned that the plans for the next session is, how to present this data. So, any ideas? Anybody has come with some thoughts or plans how we can present this data?
Sir, we can include some dashboard monitoring. I guess it was discussed during last session. So,
Yeah, so now I think you are able to see the screen which I shared already. So
yes, sir.
if you look at this was one of the architectures which we discussed in one of the earlier sessions. So what we try to do here was there is a home one, and in the home one we have this microcontroller board. So let me show that here. So this is the microcontroller board, which is local storage, and then we are able to also upload the data to the cloud. How we are able to upload the data to the cloud? Again, we are just using the Google Sheets API. We are able to upload the whatever readings to the cloud. And now in the cloud, we have the Google Sheets API. And towards the right, we have this server. And the server is supposed to have a smart home information, in an attractive way, suggestions and tips based on case study and smart grid at home website. So overall, this website should be developed, and this website will be visited by the regular people. Whoever we invite, they'll be able to, or whoever has the link, they'll be able to go to this website, and to them we have to present this website in a way that they understand. Okay. Meanwhile, this is the website for the general people, but also on the top left corner we also have a real-time website. Maybe this we can use it internally, or we can make it everything common. And the same thing repeats for home 2, for home 3, home 4, everywhere. Okay. So far 14 people are able to send it. Yeah. I'm sorry. So now let me ask you again for the third time. Do you have any plans how to take this forward in terms of that website? Of course, yeah, I know one of you answered the dashboard, but then that is not sufficient detail. Do you have the details of the dashboard? What how we would like to define this dashboard? Anybody want to start suggesting something on this? How should our interface look like? So again, for your reference, I'm just, I think you already have access to that slide, right? So it's okay. So yeah, so I would like somebody to start the discussion on this.
Sir, I thought of one interface. Like
Okay.
we can have a home plan, like home, like fully home designed, like having all the appliances like TV and everything. And whenever any user comes and it will like he will click on like television. So all the data and all whatever done, whatever things we have done for the television, it will be get displayed. I don't have much knowledge about how to create that, but I was thinking for the interface, it can be like a home, like 3D home we can develop.
Okay. So again, my suggestion on this is uh, we can start in a very easy way. So directly going for 3D and see right now what is our capability. We just have one monitoring device and one plug point we are monitoring, one appliance we are monitoring. So let's say you're monitoring refrigerator. If you now want to monitor washing machine, you will have to this particular whatever this particular board that you have here, you will have to change the plug and then replace that from the refrigerator to washing machine or from the washing machine to TV. So it is not like parallelly we are monitoring all the appliances.
No, sir,
So
like what I thought is like we are 30 students, so individually one device or something like we can do.
if it is that is the case, then where will be a 3D home come into picture? So the three, because we are all in 30 different homes, right? All the students are spread across the country. So we cannot show in one interface in one home, right? It will not. It is not accurate.
Okay.
So, but then yes. So how do we then update our idea? Whatever just now Divyanshi said. What could be the next step in that? So what was the intention? Intention was that some interface is there and user will select and the data will be displayed, right? That's the thing.
Sir, like as Vipul said, like dashboard is a kind of a glimpse. It gives a glimpse of the
Okay.
overall thing. So
Okay.
like we are 30 students, so maybe 5 or 7 students have the data of TV, maybe 5 or 10 students have the data of washing machine and various things.
Okay.
So in a dashboard, in a tab form of thing, we will have appliances like home appliances like washing machine. In that, whoever in among 30 people, 5 or 7 people are washing machine. So a cumulative data can be given as a means overall, and if he clicks that one, then individually data he can read, in the sense washing machine of that much capacity is that many hour and that many energy. So have you got, sir? This is what
Yeah.
whether I
So
convey.
yeah. So if I understand what you are saying, in fact, that was also my thought. So what you are saying is when somebody opens a link, so the website will open, right? So
Yes.
in that website, we can show what are the list of the
Appliances.
locations or list of the things. So for example, if I go back, so I think I'm not sharing my screen, so I'll just share. So let's say this is the thing. So I've just kept only the first name and I removed the full name so that I think this should be okay. And the location, that is city and state, is there. You're able to see, right?
Yes, sir.
Now this column D, column E, column F, everything we can remove. Just we have the ID, name, location. After that, maybe what is the device that is monitored. So now if I
Yes.
simply say duplicate this sheet, so I got the copy. So let's say interface. Now I simply delete the other four. And then here I will say appliance. And then status. So what is the status means whether it is connected or not. See, sometimes all 24 hours you cannot expect the appliance to be live, right? Whether your the appliance is on and whether you are monitoring and all that things, right? So we need this. Now, do you think this is sufficient to begin with?
Sir, means number of hours of appliances, if we take that input, that give a good output result basically.
So no, what I'm saying is this is the first.
Yeah, first is okay, sir. Yes.
Okay, now let me see. I could have done this with my own thought, but I deliberately wanted you all people to comment on it so that eventually it becomes like a collective idea. So now let me go back to sharing my screen. I think I have to change the orientation. Okay, so just a minute. So let's say this is how the website looks like. So I start with a box, and then we have this the initial address, the address bar and things like that. So go back and then cross and things like that, whatever. So here we need a link. Okay. So this link, when somebody opens, then what is the first thing they should see on the screen? Okay? So what I am suggesting is something like, this is just to begin with. So it need not be the final version. This is like a version 0.0 whatever, the first version. And as we keep extending, by the time, in the month of December, we'll make it like a final version, which we will inaugurate or which will open the website kind of thing. Okay. So there will be serial number or let's say ID. And then this ID will be 1, 2, going all the way up to 30. So whatever, 25, 20, whatever. Next, you have the name. And then we have, see why I want to keep name is just to make it like, your name will appear there and you have some kind of ownership on it. And then location. And the location will be city and then state. Okay. And then the name will be here. So we have all the names and this one. And what I just mentioned, appliance. And then finally the status. Now status, maybe we can say red color for, I have colors also. So let's say red color means, we can, that particular data is not right now, real-time data is not coming. Perhaps old data may be there, but real-time data is not coming. Whereas the green color will indicate that we are actually getting the real-time data. So hopefully, if we actually properly define, so maybe we can even, for this thing, we can even say the timestamp here. So right now, what is the time? So the time is right now Friday. I think today is 20 November, and then it is 16:30. So we can mention the time, and the time will keep updating. And as the time changes, we'll know at least how many appliances are live. Okay? So right now, did anybody connect? Is anybody sending data right now?
Yes, sir, mine is connected.
So let me just verify. So see right now, I again go back to sharing the screen, and I'll open the data logger, and I think Major has said that his thing is connected. Major Kirti, right? So now if I go to the kit, so here, what is your ID? 20, right?
It's 20, sir.
Yeah. So Major Kirti Balram, Udhampur, Jammu and Kashmir. So his ID is 20. Now if I go to data logger and then if I go to sheet number 20, so let me go to sheet number 20. So here I think we can see the plot right now. So hopefully the plot is also getting updated in real time. Meanwhile, if I go down, we can literally see the data coming to the sheet. Okay, so let's wait for a few seconds. 355 rows are there now. 356 rows. Apparently, he has connected some equipment whose power is 250 watts and current is 1.19 amperes. So now it is switched off, right? 0.4 watts and the current is almost zero. Yeah. So what was the equipment that you connected, Balram?
Sir, it's a hair dryer, sir.
Oh, okay. So hair dryer, we can expect, sometimes high and sometimes low. Yeah. So hair dryer operates at power factor of 1. Why hair dryer operates power factor of 1? Because it's just as a resisting element which will heat up, and then of course there is a fan which may have a some kind of inductive element, but then overall its power factor is 1, as you can see here. Immediately one thing I can see, your voltage is 215, right? 215 appears to be slightly lesser amount of voltage, right? So usually this low voltage, high voltage, that kind of situation happens. So in between there are some rows without any data, but anyway, see right now it is there. So by the way, you're all aware of this timestamp, right? See, the timestamp is in a numerical format. So if I now take this timestamp, and it is called epoch timer. So EPOCH converter, epoch time converter. So you can open that and then paste the thing and then convert to human date. If you say, so down you can see, we can see Friday, November 20, 5:33, 12 p.m. It's not exactly correct. I think it is right now 4:33 p.m. But anyway, I think we have to just check it once. Once we once we start building everything, this kind of smaller bugs we will correct it later. So is everybody following what we are trying to do here?
Yes, sir.
So now you can literally see the data coming in. Okay. Balram, can you switch on the hair dryer?
So right now I connected an LED lamp. Now I'll switch it off and switch on the hair dryer.
Okay, so LED lamp 4 watts we can see here. Now he's going to change the appliance. As you know, as we speak, the data is coming in. Which you can see on the screen. Yeah, so now 245 watts, you can see the power. So again, going back, we are getting the power value. Again, 244. Yeah, thank you. So let's go back to our discussion then. I'll stop sharing my screen. So now my question is, we can make this particular website, but how do we know which color to show here? So if a particular, let's say in this case, number 20. Okay, so number 20 is Balram from Udhampur. So for him, we are getting the real-time data, and he connected a hair dryer. And we are getting the data, so it should come as a real-time data available. So it should come like a green color. Okay, so how will we be able to do that? Does anybody know how to achieve at least this part? Any ideas on this? We want to start off with a simple website with a table. And in the table, we want the status of the data coming to the Java spreadsheet. Sorry, the Google spreadsheet. Yeah. Any suggestions how this, at least this can be achieved? Anybody knows how to do this?
Sir, can we code it in such a manner that if the voltage received is less than 0.5 volts, then it is red, and if it is more than 0.5 or 1 volt, it would be green?
No, that is not the question. See, even if the power is zero, in the data logger, the data will be coming, right? Just now I showed
Yes.
the flow of data.
Yes.
See,
Yes,
as
I
long
know.
as the data is available in last 1 minute or last 5 minutes or last half an hour, as long as the data is available, I want to show that data is available. It's just an indicator whether it is zero or whatever. See, somebody don't connect the appliance. If they're not connecting the appliance, the reporting of the data itself will not be there. Then it should come in the red color. So how do we do that?
Sir, we can run Python code as a query. And
Okay.
that if means with loop of if means data is there means in from server, if it is getting fetched, so it will be this color, or else like another color.
Okay, good. So we got one suggestion. In fact, that is what the suggestion I am thinking of using. In fact, there are multiple ways in which you can do this, but it doesn't matter since we are anyway starting to learn something. Whatever is the simplest way that we can think of, we can do that. Okay. So let me put the suggestion given by Sushant in a diagrammatical form. So what I will do is. See here what we have. So right now here we have a Google spreadsheet. Okay. So you all know that Google spreadsheet is there. In that a particular tab is there. Let's say ID 20. So in that tab the data is coming right now with the timestamp and everything. Now, if I have a Python code, I'll write it .py, okay, which can read the Google Sheet. Okay, so what it has to do, read. And which sheet to read, we know, because ID1, ID2, ID3, like that, we created individual sheets for individual students. So each one in a for loop, it can read. And find the last record. So whatever is the last record. Okay, so first step is read. Second step is out of reading that sheet, find out the last record. And after finding the last record, that last record will already have the time. So that time compare with the present time. Okay, so compare with real time, or I'll simply say current time. Okay. Now, if the last record and the current time are within 1 minute, within 5 minutes or whatever, then we can say that, okay, so and so sheet is right now being updated. Meanwhile, if the difference is more than 24 hours or let's say 5 hours difference or 8 hours difference, whatever, then we can show that real-time data is not available. Therefore, we will not show that. Okay, something like that. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's say after comparing, you find that, yes, we are getting the real-time data. Then what do we do now? The Python code now understands that real-time data is available for, out of the 30, which one, who has the real-time data, who don't have real-time data, that we understood now from this. Now, how to make sure that that information goes back here? What we can do? So here I mentioned, right, here what I mentioned here, the Python program is reading the Google spreadsheet and doing some work. After this work is over, it can write also to the spreadsheet. So what it will write? It will write whether data is live or not. The Python program will be writing. So, and this particular Python program will be running in loop. Okay, so just say run every 1 minute. Okay, so if I say 1 minute, so every 1 minute I execute the Python. Then you check for the last record, compare the time, and then if it is available, then you update it. Otherwise, if it is not available, then don't update it. Like in the right part, it will write yes or no, something like that. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now we need what? We need a Python program which can read Google Spreadsheet and also which can write to Google Spreadsheet. Reading and writing to Google Spreadsheet. Does anybody know how to do that? Today, whoever 9 people are attending, including me, does anybody know how a Python code can read data from the Google Spreadsheet? Does anybody know? So when you don't know, what you'll do?
Sir, I don't have any idea, but I can work on it.
Yeah, what is your starting point?
Sorry, Python only, sir. With Python, will get
No,
the
the
data
answer
from the
should be
spreadsheet.
the answer should be for from now onwards to the rest of your life. Anytime the question comes, if you don't know what you'll do, I Google.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And within next 1
Yes,
hour,
sir.
it will be solved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'll show you. Literally, I'll show you. Okay, so
Sir,
now
each property is different. Each property has their own.
was that for us? Some point was discussed. Anyway, so I'm just now sharing my screen. I'll go to Google search. Okay. So how to read Google spreadsheet in Python. So read Google spreadsheet in Python. Okay. So in 0.52 seconds, more than 12 lakh results have come. So the first one is Python Sheets API is there. So both for reading and writing. Next, medium.com, how to read and write Google Sheets using Python. Next, read and update Google Spreadsheet in Python. Okay. Next, Google Spreadsheets and Python. So one more, Twilio. G Sheets 004 Pythonic wrapper for Google Sheets API. Okay. So like this, on and on and on. There are not only that, there are videos also. Okay. Google Sheets API in Python, reading data from Google Sheet, updated June 17, 2020, just a couple of months back maybe. So Google Sheets and Python. Python import read in Google Sheet using pandas. So there are so many tools available, right? Resources available. So next time, don't wait for me to start this Google call and all these things. So and if you go also, it will be very simple. Okay, so just prerequisites. Python 2.6 or greater, the pip package management tool, and a Google account. So yes, we have a Google account and everything. And then enable Sheets API, all the steps is there. Step 1, what to do. Step 2, what to do. Step 3, what to do. And then the code is also given. So simply copy this code. Okay? So just copy this code and then you can run this. And of course, we'll have to change here and there some things. Then run the sample. And then after running it, accept button, it worked. And then troubleshooting. Okay. So right now you try with your own Google Sheet. See, this sheet also you have access, right? Whatever this data logger sheet that we are using, it is shared with you. Okay, but you have only read access on this. In fact, you have only read access, but the ESP module has write access. That's why it is able to write the data. So anyway, so let's come back to this. So step by step, everything is available here, right? So it is only the matter of time. So one of you should, at least one of you, I mean, if 5 of you do it, it is very good. So this is one, what you call, let's call it like assignment. Okay, so I'll stop sharing my screen. So let me mark here. assignment number 1. Okay, we started off the discussion with what kind of website we want. In that website, what kind of initial, just first round, what kind of data we want to show. Basically, just the list IDs, name and location, and what is appliance, and what is the status right now, whether it is on or off. In fact, the appliance keeps changing. Just now we saw either you can use LED lamp or you can use whatever hair dryer, whatever. So since the appliance is changing, we need not even, right now we can simply skip the appliance and we can say the status. Okay, so in order to achieve this, first we want to do this. So, and then once this is done, we can see how we can integrate with this. So this is assignment number 1. Okay, so continue. So let's continue the discussion. What else can we do? What else can we do? Any suggestions? How do we go forward?
Sir, we can also compare RMS voltages available at different locations, because here in Maharashtra we have 245 volts, while at Udhampur we were seeing that 210 or 215 volts were there. So it can also
good.
be a
So good. So let's comparison of voltages. Okay. Now comparison of voltages makes sense only if the status is on. Like you cannot compare the 10 o'clock voltage of one location with the 5 o'clock voltage of another location with the 3 o'clock voltage of another location, right?
yes, sir.
So we need a particular like whoever is on here. Let's say 10 people are on. Out of 30, 10 people are in green. That means they are submitting the data in real time. Only those 10 people data we can take out and compare the voltages. Okay. So how do you want to compare? How do you want to visualize this comparison of voltages? Which is a good suggestion. How do you want to visualize that?
Sir, it will again involve Python, and we need to access data from different sheets. So if we go for the first step, so first
Okay,
of all,
let's
if
do
we
one thing.
compare,
Let's do one thing. Let's draw this thing first. Okay. So there is a another web page. You are able to see my screen properly, right?
yes, sir.
So this is a web page. It has a different link. Okay. So this link refers to voltages, okay, across different places. While we are at voltages, we can also talk about frequencies, which is also one of the interesting visualization. Now it will be a table. So let's say serial number or ID. Then we can keep the name or we can skip the name. Again, our wish. Name of the student, location of the student. Now the location is more important. Okay, and then the voltage, and then the frequency. So let's just show it as a table. Now the timestamp. Of course, the timestamp will come at the top in this gap. Let's say timestamp. And then the length of this table will keep varying. See, on a certain time, let's say night, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, nobody is connecting their device. So this table will be empty. But if the real-time data is available, then whoever's data is available, their ID will come. So let's say ID number 20, ID number 12, we can sort this, ID number 14, ID number 7, whatever. Then their name and their location. And location one may be in Jammu and Kashmir, one may be in, you just mentioned Pune, right? Pune, Maharashtra. Okay, so one may be in Jaipur, Rajasthan, like that. And then the voltage numbers. One may be 222, one may be 247, one may be 215. Just now we saw 215, so which is a low voltage, and the frequency values. So apparently, one nation, one grid. Entire India frequency should be same at all times. Slightly it will keep varying, so at different locations, which is okay. Any suggestions on this visualization? Any suggestion?
Sir, we can keep one base voltage as fixed value. For example, 230 volt RMS is fixed. So we can
Okay.
compare the deviation from that fixed value so that we'll
In
have a
fact,
proper
we
view
can
that.
we can do even more things, right? What we can do is we can have a like anyway we are displaying in a tabular form, so we can have some kind of a scale. Okay, so the scale will have low voltage will be very much red color, and while we keep going to the rated voltage or normal voltage, it will be something like this. So some kind of a voltage scale can be there, and then through that voltage scale we can display immediately. We can visualize which location is having a low voltage problem and which location has a high voltage problem at a particular timestamp. Okay, so like that. Again, I drawed it outside, but basically what I'm suggesting is we can just incorporate the shading inside these values only, like in spreadsheets you get that. And as you mentioned, base voltage, so you can specify, base voltage will be something like so and so, like 240 volts, 50 hertz or whatever is your base voltage and base frequency. Any other suggestions on the visualization?
Sir, this one means we are doing to compare the voltages state-wise.
Yes, that was one of the suggestion. I'm sorry, I did not notice who gave this suggestion.
Sir, Vipul. Vipul, yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So Vipul suggested that let's compare the voltages, which is low voltage area, which is high voltage area. Yeah. So Sushant, what were you telling?
No, just sir, I was thinking which means for with this what we can have the result of that one.
See, I am wondering why nobody is suggesting one very interesting idea, but I'm just waiting for somebody to suggest. In order to visualize it in a more better way. So to give you a hint, let's do something. See, I sharing my screen now. You can look at the screen. So I go to maps, okay, and then I will say hotels in Mumbai. So can you see what you are able to see here? So I'm now going to the Kolaba area, the rich area of Mumbai. So what are you able to see here? What are these labels?
Sir, in a map, we can display like whatever voltage is there at a particular location.
Yes, so that's the idea, right? So when we can do with instead of showing it as a table, see now you can see 1,000 rupees for a particular hotel, and then so there is even a what you call this thing is coming, Saint Regis Mumbai. It's rating Four Seasons Hotel. You can go to that hotel's website. You can see the everything you can see, right? What is there in the hotel and things like that. So so now if I again stop presenting, come back to our idea, why not have a map of India? Because we are taking advantage of lockdown and working from home, things like that. So we can have a India map. So whatever I could draw with free hand, you can have an India map, and then we can have different locations like a tooltip. We can show what is the voltage there. So
Yes, sir.
now my next question is, how many of you know how to show Google Map in a website? So again, if your answer is you don't know, then obviously you will have to search Google and find out how to show Google Map in a website. Okay, so let's call this as assignment number 2. So meanwhile, in order to do this, you need the data, right? So
Yes,
what
sir.
you can do, you can simply repeat this whole process. Okay? So see, this one is the front end visualization, whereas this is the back end. Okay, so in the back end, what you have to do, you have to repeat this same process, right? So there is a Google spreadsheet. I'll call it as Google spreadsheet. And then there is a Python program. It will read. First, I'll just say write first. So it will read. What it will read? It will read the status. So we don't have to do this status check once again. We have already updated the status, who is sending live data and not sending live data. So it will just first read the status and get the list of the latest voltages. Okay, so it will read the status, then get live IDs with live data available. Then it will go for extracting voltage value, and after extracting the voltage value, again update. So it will basically write into the Google spreadsheet. So some other sheet we will have. That sheet will look exactly like this. Okay, it will have the same ID and column, everything. In that, the latest data will be updated. Okay, so this one, let's call it. What do we call this? Assignment number 3. Okay. Good. So we still have half an hour more. I would like to mention as many as possible this kind of tasks or assignments. So more suggestions, please. So we have one main sheet where the status of the appliances we can see. Next, we have one more sheet where we can see the visualization of voltages. Now the interesting thing is these assignments are not the regular assignments where everybody repeats the same thing. Okay? So if one person can do assignment 2, he can share with everybody. We can basically copy from each other, and not only everybody in this class. Next year, the next batch will be there. They will take this code and they will continue it. Not only next year, our students, anybody from YouTube, if they request, we can freely send this code. So and so student has written this part, this module, or this particular thing, and the credit will go to you. But then you have in a kind of an open source contribution, you have contributed this for this thing. Maybe somebody else may use it in their other things. You're all following what I'm saying, right? So let's continue.
Yes, sir.
What more can we do? You can think now. What more can we do?
No, sir. Till now we have read the file in Python from the data logger sheet. Now this one has to be displayed on the website. So one more, that communication link should be there now. Like.
So your question. Okay. So what Sushant is asking is again another interesting question. What is Python program doing? Python program is just dealing with the spreadsheet. So it is reading the spreadsheet, doing the calculation, writing back to the spreadsheet. But the question is how the spreadsheet information will go to the website. Okay, so that is the question, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's make a drawing for that. So imagine that we have a generalized web page. So this is again, I keep this address bar and then the link. We have a generalized website, and there is some tabular information. Okay, so I'll just make a small table. Now certain things may be fixed rows. Okay, so like serial number, name. So these things, they are not variable, they are fixed. Whereas there is a variable let's say V1, and there's another variable V2, maybe voltages, maybe some other things. These variables are time dependent. They are function of time. They keep changing. Okay? And let's say if there are 4 rows here, so there will be 4 items here, and then there will be 4 items here. Okay? So total, in this example, it may be 8, it may be 2, it may be 7, it may be 100. Okay? So whatever, okay, the data. We, on the other hand, we have outside this website, we have a Google spreadsheet. So now my question is, how the Google spreadsheet data will enter into this particular locations in this particular table? Any suggestions? Anybody can, what you already know, can you suggest something?
JavaScript can be used, sir.
Okay, so Sushant is saying JavaScript. Okay, so what does JavaScript do? The JavaScript can be used to build a website, right? So if you remember, so again, let me start sharing my screen. You can just look at the screen. So I go to our this thing, YouTube channel, and then our playlist, and I go to the playlist of our particular course. Okay, so today I think we are in lecture number 9, I think, right? So lecture number 8, we discussed uploading data from HomeKit to Google spreadsheet. Whereas lecture number 7, we said JavaScript and server-side scripting. Okay. Now, if you refer to this lecture number 7, some of you might be present there also, right? So I'll mute this. What were you doing in this lecture number 7? So if you go back, so remember we created a demo testing. Whose mobile phone is this? Do you remember? This is a screenshot from one of the students' website, right? Who, do you remember whose phone this was? Do you remember all this? We have done this, right? I'm just,
Yes, sir.
that's the reason why I record my videos, so that you know. So we were doing all this kind of thing, right? So if you again look at this video, you will recollect how to do that. Okay, so now if I go back here, so do you remember whose phone was this? Somebody was like Hiren was sharing, right? Of course, if you again see, his voice will come. So see here, 105.8 was coming, R phase voltage.
Sir, I had also shared my my screen.
So can you recognize Vipul has shared, right? This is what Vipul has shared, right? This one? No, Vikram
Yes.
has shared, Vikram Chirala. So now if I go back, so somewhere here. So anyway, so now it is clear, right? How we will be able to do this? I'm sorry. So I'm showing a YouTube video inside a YouTube video. Okay, so let's stop this here, and I'll stop sharing. You got the idea, right? I'll draw
Yes,
it.
sir.
So what we can do is this entire JavaScript we can keep inside a server. Okay, so JavaScript will be a part of the server. What is this server? Node server. So we are using node.js as a tool. This server has inside, we write a JavaScript program. And what the JavaScript program can do? Read, write. As simple as that. the JavaScript program will read from the Google Sheet and then write it to the website. And then using this link, anybody can, people sitting in any city, they can open and then they can visualize the data, right?
Yes,
So now
sir.
the task is again, although I had shown it before, but independently you can develop this. Now the task is this. So this is our assignment number, what was it? 4? I lost count. Yeah, assignment number 4. So somebody has to develop a Java server. So assignment 4 refers to writing a Node.js server. In that server, you connect it and read it from the Google Sheet. And then in using that server, you develop a generalized link with a website, and whatever data and whatever position, whatever location you can show it. The same server can also help you do this. Let's say there is again, let me retry the India map. So now here, if I want to show tooltip and then show the real-time data. Okay, so just like how you saw in the hotels in Mumbai example. So even this can be done through your JavaScript, through Node.js, how to create a Google map, how to create pointers in the Google map, and how to display the data. This can also be done. So let's call this assignment 5. Okay, so I'll write it here. So somebody can take up this challenge of creating a Node.js server and writing a JavaScript code inside that, such that it creates a website with a map, and it reads from a sheet, and then again it writes to the map the values. So you can choose different colors for different values, and high voltage, low voltage, whatever you can do. Is it clear? Are you able to follow me? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now the time is 5:10. We still have about 20 more minutes. So let's identify some more assignments. By the way, does anybody know how to create a JavaScript to create a map and show the items in that? So again, if your answer is no, good. So the whole purpose of all this exercise is for you to learn some skills. Before joining this course, what you know, and then after completing this course, what you know. I would like you to learn something. And at the beginning only I told everybody will get good grade. Irrespective of the grades, there won't be any exams, there won't be anything. You have to demonstrate your own learning. Okay? So that is the thing. Yeah, so let's continue. What can we do next? So I had two people suggesting. One was one is Vipul and other is Sushant. From whatever point they suggested, we now got up to here. So like this, I would like more people to suggest something how we can build our website. What else can be done?
So
What
till
else?
now we have only shown about the voltages and everything, but like whatever we have done in on lecture, what are the usage we can do, we have not implemented that part.
So what could be the next? I mean, we are not stopped, right? We did not conclude anything. See,
Yes, sir.
this will even after next year also. I'll keep adding things to this, so nothing will stop. But what is the next step then? Suggest
So next
what is the next step?
next step can be like you are implementing that usage that we have written 20 to 22 points. So we
Ah,
can.
very good, very good. See, I myself forgot what we discussed in this course. So let me show the again, I'm sharing my screen. So let me go. Very good. So this is the, I don't even remember where I wrote all those use cases. Where did I write out those use cases? I think
Sir,
one
to
of the, yeah,
fourth or third lecture.
yeah. So is this lecture 3 then? Let us search for it. Eventually we'll find out. Not this one.
It was a Word file.
Oh, is it?
16th October, sir.
See, website for design, what should be the design, what should be the pages, menus, color scheme, how to make it attractive, all these points we discussed, right?
So that was a Word file.
Yeah. So, but I'm not able to find a Word file here. So let's see. I'll go to my drive and then search in the drive. Okay. So let's say use cases. What is this process for uploading data? What is this one? This was another thing that we discussed. Okay. Use cases of energy monitoring. Very good. So the good thing I've done is at least I used the title use case, so I was able to find it. Okay. So I think this is the one that we are finding. Okay. So now let's quickly what you call convert this into assignments, right? So the document starts with, you're able to see the document, right, on your screen? Just
Yes.
confirm. So assuming that all the students in the course receive and install the energy monitoring device at their respective homes, what can be done as next step? Okay, in fact, we have achieved this part, I believe. Like everybody received the energy monitoring device, and majority of you already installed the device, and still, a good number of you already is uploading the data. So we are good to go to use cases. So first one is recording the peak power consumption. Very good. So can we do something on this, recording the peak power consumption? How does it look like? So let's come back to visualization. How do we show this information? So for this, we don't need real-time data, right? Whatever was the peak will be the peak, right? So can you suggest how do we visualize this?
Sir, this is peak in a day or means
So again,
what
a
is
good
the
question.
peak?
It could be daily peak, it could be monthly peak or whatever. So let's do that. So I can go back. So let's create one more view. So this is another web page, and it will have its own link. By the way, all these links we are going to put together, and it will become a kind of a website. Okay, web page and website. You know the difference, right? Web page is individual pages. Website is a collection of things. Now, in this peak demand report, okay, and here I can have a couple of links here: daily, monthly, and it will have a line like this, or maybe a button like this, whatever, let it be. And by default, let's say it is in the daily mode. Okay, now here I'll have id. So id will be 1 2 so on up to 30. Then I can keep the name and location. Here I can say peak power, and I can say peak time. And then here maybe there could be a kind of a calendar view, some kind of. So the user can go and select a particular date in the calendar. For that particular date, for all these houses, names and locations, what was the peak power and what time the peak power occurred. Like this. Is it clear? what I'm trying to show?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But sir, this one is when we are monitoring continuously, then only this relevance is there. When 24 into 7 we are getting the data and monitoring.
Yeah, this one is only relevant when we are monitoring continuously, but we will do a little bit of cheating here. And the cheating that we'll do is whatever data, let's say within one day, let's say only 10 minutes, somebody is connecting how this major has connected a hair dryer sometime back. So even within that small time, we will just take the peak and then mention that. Okay. So assuming that eventually these things will be deployed, 24 hours, it will keep running without any other intervention, then it will be very interesting. But right now, still, let's do the homework and let's build the thing. Okay. Now let's see what is the task in this. Okay. Now there is a two things. JavaScript is there and Python is there. Okay. Now the entire thing can be done using Python. The entire thing can be done using JavaScript. But better we can keep two separate things. All the calculations, let's keep the Python for doing that. And all the visualization, displaying, let's give the task to the Node.js server. So if that is the case, then, by the way, anybody, any doubt, please ask right away, okay? So that it will be beneficial for everyone. There's a Node.js server here. This server is creating this website, okay? Creating this or hosting this particular link. That means if any client request for this link URL, the client request will directly go to the server and the server will respond with this particular web page, and the web page will be displayed on their respective mobile phone or whatever. Meanwhile, it will be better since we are talking about daily report, right? So we can actually pre-prepare these reports even before anybody asks for it. Every day, like let's say at 1 a.m. Okay. At 1 a.m. every day. That means the previous 12 hours data, 24 hours data would have been ready. By 12 midnight, the data might have come. At 1 a.m., I will run a Python code. Okay. So this is a .py. So let's call it a peak calculator or something like that. Okay. So this Python code will run at 1 a.m. every day. What this Python code will do, it will contact the Google script, Google Sheet. It will contact the Google Sheet and download the entire day's data. Okay, so read the Google Sheet for each candidate, like ID number 2, what is the entire day data? ID number 4, what is the entire day data? It will read it. After reading internally, it will find out the maximum and again find out at what time that maximum has occurred, and then it will write into another report. Okay, so by the way, all this writing will go into separate reports, separate sheet within the same Google Sheet, a separate where it will be a daily peak report. So with the date, let's say the report went for 16th November, the report has been written. Whether the user asked it or not, we don't care. We just keep the data ready in the Google Sheet. Okay. Now, on the other day, on the other side, we have somebody opening this link. After opening this link, opens this calendar. After opening this calendar, selects the 16th of November here and then selects the date. Then automatically that request will go to the site will request, REQ request. And after requesting to that site, the site will again contact to the Google Sheet and then read the Google Sheet and then get the data. And then finally, it will create this particular whatever colors, fonts, whatever we want, we can visualization we can do here. And then finally, our job is done. Okay. So in order to do that, so let's split this up. So assignment number 6, right? Right now we are at 6. Okay, would be to do this part. How to write a Python code which reads the data every 1 a.m. at every night and then creates a report for the previous day. and then the next day, like that. It keeps doing the daily job, and then I'll get a daily report. Meanwhile, of course, the monthly report goes without saying. Every first, let's say 31st or 29th or whatever, 30th, the month is over. The first of every month, 1st of June, 1st of July, 1st of August, like that, this can run. And for the entire 1 month, it will find what is the peak and then create a same thing again. Okay, so irrespective of whether you are requesting for a daily report or a monthly report, it shouldn't matter. The data should be available, and then Node server should be able to read it. And this one, the creating this entire visualization and corresponding code for this will be your assignment number 7. Okay, so again, as reminded by Divyanshi, we opened the use cases, and after opening the use cases, we have got now 2 more. Okay? So now let me again share my screen and go to use cases. Okay, so this one we have. Let's write it here. 6 and 7. So A6 and A7. Collecting the data from all devices and storing in a center. This is already done. Okay, so good. So this we have already done. By the way, some people will suggest, this is not a best way of doing it. Why don't you use database, MySQL? Tomorrow, if the things become big, then it will be difficult. So yes, there are several different ways of doing this. Right now, we got comfortable doing like this. So we are doing like this. But eventually, if need comes, we'll go to that. Good. So what is the next use case? Appliance level data set. Advantage. These appliance data sets can be used for load disaggregation to determine when a particular appliance is on or off just by looking at the aggregated data. So ultimately, the task is appliance level data set. Okay. So yeah, so what do you suggest? Appliance level data set. Any suggestions? How we can present this in the interface?
Means, sir, this means with data we can get to know what is the appliances.
No, what we can say is you can publish. See, for example, just now we saw this Balram from Udhampur, Jammu and Kashmir. He has a hair dryer. Okay, so how the hair dryer will function? He can create a small data set. Okay, maybe half an hour duration or maybe even 5 minutes duration. He can create a small data set and keep the data set ready for others to use it. Appliance level. So that is one data set. And he will give the specifications, the name of the appliance, the duration, all these things, the company, what is all the settings. Meanwhile, let's say some other person from Pune, for example, Vipul wants to monitor a washing machine. So the washing machine running cycle is 2 hours. For 2 hours, he will create a data set and then allow the data set to be downloaded by anybody. Okay, so like that, we will have a collection of data sets. Maybe, just like downloading the documents, PDF files, anybody can come and download the data set of a particular appliance. How can we achieve this? All the students will publish and the data will be stored and it will be available for downloads. How can we achieve this?
Sir, we can put in a form of CSV files.
Yes.
And that CSV files can be kept in various servers are there, like Kaggle and all. So from there also
why to go to Kaggle? We'll do it ourselves, right? We are self-reliant, Atmanirbhar. So we'll do our own thing. Okay. So this is our website. Okay. Definitely people will like. Okay. So there is a link. And let's call this website as appliance dataset. and here it will be serial number and then name of the student. Here it's not location specific, right? And what is the appliance? We can also mention location. Okay, location. What is the appliance? And what is the duration? Okay, and what is the any other information, remarks or whatever. And finally, here there will be download. So there will be a data.csv, data2.csv, some washing machine wm.csv. So like this, interesting different appliances. So basically this is raw data. And then even if each one student contributes 1 or 2 data sets, ultimately we will be able to get 50 records, 50 data sets. And eventually we can have things, make it such that anybody can submit a data set. So anybody can submit and anybody can download, like that we can keep it. Okay, so here the work is not much because you already anyway publishing data to Google Sheet. Simply go there, copy, download, copy it into CSV file, and then simply we have to just put the CSV file in a folder and generate the link and then keep it here. Okay, so we can keep the CSV in a Google Drive folder and then share the Google Drive link of that particular file for public, and then just build this particular thing. So this doesn't require a very major thing. Okay, but it will have some instructions. Okay, how to submit your data set. So how to submit your data set? So somebody can write clear instructions. Go to this, do this, do that. Finally send this, and finally send the email to one person. That person will be the manager of this particular website or manager of this particular this thing. So that person will update the sheet and then it will start coming here. Okay, so it's very simple in that sense. Okay. So let's make it like, so as a demo, somebody can show this. So assignment number 8, right? Okay. So now we are at assignment number 8, but then almost time is up. So let me again start. So there are other things. Appliance level data set just now we assigned to A8. Okay, so when these things are done, we will highlight them in green color. So right now, let's highlight them in a orange color. Okay, so whenever these things are done, we will change it. So this is our list of things that we want to do. So low voltage problem, high voltage problem. I think this we are anyway, right now we are working on it. See, monitoring of energy consumption, crypto mining also, this one also you only suggested, Divyanshi. So anyway, just I think this sheet is also shared with everyone. So just have a look at it. In fact, I'll just simply share it publicly also, and then I'll keep it in the description of this particular video. So anyway, so any final observations, points you want to talk now? Anybody wants to try? You people have time to work on this? Who wants to commit? Yeah.
Sir, I will start with first and second.
Who is that? Anyway, so what I'll do, I will all these sheets which I just prepared, I will try to take the pics and then provide the link in the description of the YouTube video at the meeting. But yeah, so I mean, whoever, like, by the way, who said you will try? I'm sorry, I could not see the name.
Sir, Vipul.
Yeah, Vipul. So whatever is your background, and then there is no excuse to saying I don't know how to do it, because whenever you don't know, just Google it. There are hundreds of resources, thousands of resources available that will tell you how to do this. We are not inventing anything new. We are just learning what is already there. Okay? So not only Vipul, everybody try this. Not only those who are present today, even those who are absent today, see this video and get some assignment. I mean, choose some assignment. In fact, if you feel that these are not sufficient, always this use case document is there. Go here, pick up something. You know, seasonal variations, star rating, consumption, all the things are mentioned in that. So you can do that. Okay. So any final closing remarks? Are we on track?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Are we going with sufficient speed?
Yes, sir.
I think no. We are actually a little bit slow, so we have to pick up the speed. Please plan your time, dedicate some time to this, because I don't know about your other courses that you are doing, how much you like them, how much time you are spending on them. Without me forcing you, you plan your time. Let's say I will sit on this for next 2 hours or next 4 hours or whatever. You take out some time, do some searching, learn something on your own, build something, and then demonstrate. I think the next session that I will have, I will not speak much. I will keep, you people be ready to, whatever you developed, you can share it, share your screen, and then you can show that. I think the next class is on the next Tuesday. Okay? So I'll expect some of you might have done some of the work on like this. Even if you've done bits and pieces, we will merge it together and make it a common website. Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.